Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority. That is Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb's also a pilot. And Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. And if you can't listen to the entire show, remember it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or just go ahead and search Barb on most of the podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. Every week, Your Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market and one of most people's largest assets, that's the home. Barb, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, Richard, the first topic is housing affordability, because that has really been a problem. There is low inventory. There's an increased population, so there's a little bit higher demand. That's why we're still in a seller's market. But at the end of the day, only 5 to 10% of the buyers pay cash. Everybody else is getting a loan, and it's all about whether or not they can afford that house payment. So we're going to talk about how housing affordability is the biggest threat to real estate values. And if these rates keep going up, eventually the market values could go down again. The second topic we're going to talk about is the top 7 ways to buy your next home without having to sell your current home. I get offers all the time on my listings that are contingent on a home selling, and most agents don't have a solution. We have a whole bunch of solutions for home sellers if you call us. The third topic is, does it really matter what an appraiser thinks about your home and its value? And we'll go over kind of particulars about appraisals, why you need to care about it, and what you can do about it. And the very last topic is one of my favorite topics, because when I sit down with home sellers, everybody wants the most money. Everybody believes that the Zillow algorithm of what their home is worth must be true. But in fact, that's not what the market will bear right now. So we'll talk about how you can price a home so that you can get the most amount of money. And as always, I love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Boy, you do. And they are hot indeed. Barb, all the reports are now indicating that the Fed continues on the plan of raising interest rates, yet we haven't seen any substantial decrease in home prices. So where do you think this housing market is headed?
Well, Richard, it's a very funny market right now, because it's not making sense, and that's concerning. If you do any research on YouTube or some of those places, you'll see completely opposing opinions about what's happening with the market. Some say it's going to crash like it did in the Great Depression, is what they're calling it, in 2008, which had completely different history and a setup for that scenario. So I don't know if it's the same market. What I do know is that we are having fewer sales right now than we did back in 2018, right before the market started surging up. But the prices are almost twice as high, and the interest rates are definitely more than double. So those 3 things could represent the perfect storm. I checked on interest rates, and actually it's at 7.97% for a 30-year fixed. It went over 8 last weekend, and that's a pretty high rate to kind of fly overhead and look at long term with regard to interest rates. The truth is, the very, very low interest rates took place because the Fed was doing some sort of financial effort to keep the interest rates low after the mortgage meltdown of 2008. And they kept that up for a number of years. It probably really increased our national debt while they were doing that. So they really kept the rates artificially low. And there's some people out there that actually think that the rates are going to go back down again. And I would be shocked to see that, because if you go back and look at history, at least as long as I've been alive, when I bought my first house back in the 1980s, the going interest rates were somewhere around, I think, 12 or 13%. and I had to do some kind of adjustable rate mortgage to make the payment affordable. And so we're going to see more and more of those kind of activities for homeowners to be able to get into homes and make the payment affordable. Um, and housing prices haven't yet given way because of the interest rates. Last year, when the Fed rose the rates from 3 up to 7.5, 8% in a very short period of time, it did dip the values a little bit, but we've since made up most of that ground. And actually, some towns like Boulder, Fort Collins, still, there's 4 markets in the Denver metro area that represent some of the 4 top highest priced areas that are not on the coast in this country. So prices are up, inventory's down, but interest rates are up. So that means not every home is going to have a dog pile of buyer. And we've seen that in the statistics in the Denver metro area. Sales are down by 17%. In the Colorado Springs area, sales are down by 24%. So if you're a home seller right now, do not expect a bidding war. We can make that happen if you price it right. And sometimes it works out really well, but it really just depends on the home and the demand and what condition it's in and all that. And that's what we're experts at. And even the income from the average buyer out there right now, the median income has dipped just a little bit down to 75,322. But in order to afford a home that's priced at the median price right now, they need to make about 20,000 more a year. So with the Fed raising rates, this just makes it worse. So who knows what's going to happen in the future? I wish I had my crystal ball. But in my opinion, I think that if you are in a position to buy a home now, waiting is a huge mistake. And that's purely because of demographics. People always wait for the prices to crash, or they wait for the rates to come down. Honestly, I don't think it's going to work. I think over time, the prices are going to go up. They're just not going to go up via double digits. So if you buy a home last year, it's unlikely if you sell it a year later that you're going to have a huge profit. I did have those experiences during the boom. And that was really cool to have somebody buy a home and they turn around and sell it and make $100,000 profit. That happened a couple of times, but not anymore. It's not realistic. We're never going to see that again in our lifetimes. I believe homes are getting more expensive and rates are not going to get lower. That is my prediction. Now, the other factor in here is if you're selling a home that's not a brand new home, the builders are competing directly with you. So they're coming in with pricing their home very close to existing resales, right? So the problem is that a buyer is very enticed by getting everything fresh and new and updated and under warranty versus an old, tired, dated home, right? They have choices. Plus, they're offering incentives to buyers. So I highly encourage home sellers to think about some of these techniques in order to get their home sold, like offering to buy down their interest rates or those kind of things, just like what the builders are doing. Even Warren Buffett is investing in new construction homes right now. And the result has been that back during the boom, builders only represented about 14% of the buyer population of the buyers' home sales, and now they're about 33%. So they're swooping in and they're taking advantage of it. The good news is that the current inventory is still 10% below what it was a year ago. It's very similar to what it was in 2018. Couple that with a massive growth in population and that younger generation of Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, they're jumping in and trying to buy homes right now. Huge surge, right? And that's why you're seeing apartments spring up all over the place, because there's a housing need out there. So if you can make it affordable for them, you can make it work. And that's part of what we can do to help you. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I'm the broker owner. I'm also the host of this real estate show entitled Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about how the surge in interest rates really could possibly cause home prices to drop a little bit. And when we come back, what we're going to talk about is what home sellers would expect to see and what they need to do in this market condition right now. if you are thinking of making a move, we would love it if you would give us a call and give us a chance to sit down with you, give you a really good idea what your home will sell for in this market, go over all the closing costs so you know how much you'll put in your pocket, and give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. Go to barbhasthebuyers.com. The reason I call my site Barb Has the Buyers is I have over 27,580 buyers just on my little website. Plus, we have high net worth cash buyers that can make an offer on a home as well. So go to barbhasthebuyers.com or call us at 719 301 3900. Richard?
That's Barb Schlinker. She's the host of Your Real Estate Voice, and we're discussing the current real estate market and how people can be prepared if they want to buy or sell. So, Barb, what should home sellers expect to do in this type of market situation?
Well, first of all, when you're selling a home, it's all about pricing it realistically. I would say 99.9% of the home sellers I meet with, when I ask them what's important to them, the question is price. They want the most money. Okay. And I get that. Everybody wants the most money. Okay. But you have to consider the current market, what your competition look like, and how do you compete with them to get your home sold. So be like the builders, update as much as you can, offer concessions, and make sure you price what I call very realistically versus optimistically. We did that recently with the home, and we sold it right at market value, even though it was priced below it, to a really good buyer, and everything went really well. And that's what you want. You want the sale to be excellent, an easy process, and not a big hassle. So if you are thinking of making a move, we are selling homes all the time, and it's very important who you pick to be your agent. Picking the wrong agent can actually cost you thousands. And so that's what we do. We give you an in-home free consultation, give you tips on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We'll also present you our buyers. We have 27,580 buyers just in my little database of buyers, and I can match at least 100 buyers to your home. And we market directly to those buyers to try to get you the most money if you choose to work with us when you go on the market. So to get that free in-home consultation, you can call us at 719 301 3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker, the host of the program and the proprietor of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719 301 3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. A short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about the top ways to buy your next home without having to sell your current home. You don't want to miss that.